let's get this show on the road. Oh, I'm so tired. But I have like an hour to get one update out for the emergent task planner. So, anyway, it's 11:50 p.m. Tuesday, February 28th, last day of the month. And what I wanted to do is do one update for the Patreon. Was hoping to get to it all this month, but with this big code crunch, which is still ongoing, though not as bad as before, I just haven't had the time or energy for it. Although I guess I did play a lot of video games, but video games are important too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up the this thing. I'm not sure why the YouTube stream isn't showing here. So this is like a virtual co-working session. I am going to do what? I am going to, well, let's see what we're doing. I'm going to start with Doug Anger's request. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. It might be Angers, for all I know. Anyway, Doug he's doing one of the $25 a month design collaboration things. And one of his requests was, and I'll read this, he takes a lot of notes some days, and the dot grid of the mini ETP has inspired him to adopt some aspects of bullet journaling. Bullet journal is pretty cool, if you haven't seen that. Let's pull up bullet journal, just so it's up there so we can look at it. I like the bullet journal system. But anyway, you'd love to see a backside for the mini T that would just be a continuation of the dot grid, full width from the front and the gutter. Maybe we could start there and see where it goes. If I get continuing note space on the back of the mini T as you throw, if you see the wide open space and more creative ideas, awesomeness to add for it, I'd be thrilled too. As always, feel free to share as you see fit. And so we will do that. So the bullet journal, if you haven't checked this out, bulletjournal.com. This is a pretty nice system. The guy who designed it, who designed this? It's very, very clean and very, very to the point. I hope this guy's making some money off of this. What's he have in his store? Fancy notebooks? Oh, he actually has like a fancy notebook. I'd love to make something like this for my stuff, but I'm trying to get them all produced in the United States, and it's hideously expensive. I need to find some, or maybe I should consider manufacturing overseas, but I would love to manufacture locally. I had to figure out how to do that. If I could figure that out, you know, that would be fantastic. I wonder why the YouTube chat isn't showing here. Oh, there it goes. I just needed waking up. Over, away, audio loop back, Discord chats, chat boxes. I don't know what's wrong with it. Anyway, I guess I'll just make this go full Discord then. No one's talking in the Discord chat right now. So anyway, let's find this mini ETP thing. Where would that be? It's in my, not projects, it's in Dave Personal. And it would probably be under all products, which is where I'm eventually moving all of my work. This is an ETP variant. This is part of the, is it the mini or is it the, it's the 3T3 he's talking about. The 3T3 I think was part of the A5, A6 line, yeah. I have way too many of these things. And he's using the black and white one. 3T3 black and white version. So it's one of these. I'm assuming it's the US Mini. Let's go look at the Mini, US Mini. There's a black and white one. Where is it? Where's the black and white one? 232 US Mini 2 up. Oh, okay, it's the C ones are the color ones. Let's take a look at this file here. There's different variants of this. Oh, this is a new version of Illustrator. Thank you, Creative Cloud. He's using this. I'm wondering if my 2-up is including the 1-up. So if I include the 1-up, then I should get the 2-up. And it looks like indeed I am doing that. That's great. Let's save this. Let me close this again. And so I need to copy the 2-up double and all of these, and we're going to make a dot grid version of this for Doug. And I need to put this in a place where we are doing the Patreon reward projects. And we have, there's another folder. This is like the design collaborators. And the design collaborators, we have Doug. And we've got these files. So these are going to be T3T US Mini. Oops. These are going to be the dot grid. Dot. And then this is going to be dot 2-up. Or maybe I should just make us, oops. I'm trying to figure if I need to shorten these. Let's shorten these. ETP. It's ETP 3T US Mini. This is really the T3T dot US Mini. I think that's the naming I should use. Let me make sure my audio is working. So this is going to be our naming convention for these. So this would be the same. I'm dropping PCO from the. I'm sort of dropping the use of the PCO and EO name. This is US Mini 2-up D, and then this one is just 2-up. So those are the new ones. So if I modify this one and relink the other ones, I should get everything along with it. Oh wait, no, this isn't going to work because this is the 2-page spread. All right, so how am I going to do this? What was that? I'm getting a complaint. Oh, because this file is so old. This is not even. Wait, where is? This is using Helvetica Neue? Well, we should replace that with it's medium condensed. We should replace that with Neue condensed medium. Or condensed semi-bold would work. Yeah, that's a. This is the T3T. I haven't seen this in a while. When did I make this? 2011. That was a while ago. So now to make this, if I wanted to make this a spread, how am I going to do this? Let's talk about a continuation of the dot spread all the way on the other side. The easier way to do this might be, let me save this, or let me save as. This will replace it with the newest version of Illustrator CC format, so whatever version I was using in 2011. So what I want to do is, if we're going to make a 2-up spread, I can do this as a front and back, or I can do it as a sheet he can cut. And it depends on if he's binding it or not. Let me see if he says if he's binding. Too bad Doug's not online. I should have done this earlier. It's occurring to me this is the first kind of fun project that I've done this month. There's been other projects. He was using the 3 by 5 inch card before, which is amazing. What should we do with this? Well, since I don't know his exact use, what I'll do is assume that it's going to be in a bound format rather than a signature format. By signature, I mean like they're not going to be folded over like this and sewn. Probably will be mounted, I want to say spreads. So that means, like, I'm looking at this. Ugh. Looking at this sheet of paper. And if we're doing spreads, that means like both the pages are open, left side, right side page. I don't know if you can see that. Let's move this back a bit. So left side, why is this pointing so funny? So this will be the side that has all the ETP stuff on it. So 1, 2, 3, and then there's like the other dot grid. So yeah, it looks something like this, except better. So we have this, and what we want to do is on this side is going to be all dot grid. This is also dot grid here too. And so if we're binding this, then the binding holes are here, or however he's doing it. So this edge has to be 0.25 inches. This edge needs to be 0.75 inches for here, just for the room for the binding. Well, I can probably get away with less. But if he has a whole side like this, I don't know. Let's see what that looks like. So basically I just need to double this page and put a cut. And if there's an issue, he can tell me and I can modify it. So I think that should work. So let's go back to this. Go back to the display plus chat mode. So what am I going to do? Let's go to document setup and let's just double this thing. So we want to edit the artboards. And this is fine. This is an 8.5 sheet that's cut in half. This is what the format I call the US Mini. It's a US letter sheet that's cut in half, as opposed to A5, which is a proportionally scaled down version of A4, the US or the International Paper Standard, which of course we don't use here in America, because screw that. We use 8.5 by 11, which if you cut it in half, it's a different size. It's a different shape. But what I want to do is I want to double the width of this. So what I need to do up here is, my accessibilities are turned off. Let me fix that. Accessibility preferences. What I need to do is reposition this so it's on this monitor, so you can actually see what I'm zooming in on. Ah, crap. This is actually mirroring at the same time, which is kind of funky. Alright, so done. Close that. So I can zoom in now and show you what I'm looking at. So of this Illustrator control up here, that looks like a kind of the 9 grid of stuff there. And I don't have the mouse anymore. That's interesting. So I need to make sure that's in the right place. So when I expand the width of this page from 5.5 to 11 inches, I have that now. Now I need to set up the guides though. And how come I'm not seeing any? So here's one. Oh, it's probably because I'm still in. No, I'm not in the art. No, now I'm out of the artboard. So let's see. Here's the one guide, and can I select it? Nope. Nope. Can I? Yeah, I can select it. So I need to bring this in by 0.25 inches. So I'm going to put 0.25 inches. So that's the edge for that. And then the top, we want to also do 0.25. And the reason why I do 0.25 is I find that this is pretty generally the maximum that your general home printer can do. And so this is 8.5 minus 0.25. Nice thing about Illustrator is you can actually do calculations in these boxes here. So you don't have to like use a calculator. You can just say whatever the existing thing is minus 0.25. So that's pretty awesome. Then we need to go to the middle of the page, which is around 5.5. It should be exactly the middle. Can I actually duplicate that? No, actually we can do this. We can put another one, and we wanted to do, let's give it a half an inch. So 5.5 minus 0.5 is going to be there. Look how big that is. But that's necessary if he's going to do hole punching. And this one's going to be 5.5 plus 5, which is 6. And so those are our grids. I kind of want to put these layers, put these guides on a different layer though. I'll cut those and then I'll put them up here on the print guide layer. Alright, so now I need to resize it so everything fits. I don't know if this text overlay no longer exists, I think. Oh look, there's the old old holes for this. You don't need those. Oops. Get rid of those. Assuming this is going to be. It may not. It may be that he doesn't need to punch this, but we'll see. So I can lock these layers now. Oops. Yeah, I can lock these layers. I don't need this text overlay layer, so I'm going to clean this up as I go along. This is going to be the artwork layer. And what we want to do now is just move all this stuff over. And then maybe resize it so it fits better. So I'm selecting everything like this. This is the old design too. I can put it right to there. It almost fits. Let me check the dimensions of 0.5. I have a ruler here somewhere. Where is it? Where's my small pad? I guess that's over here. I'll use this. Oops, did I just break my computer? So I have this. This is a, I think this is for sewing, but it's really cool. I got this at, where did I get that? I think I got a craft store. And I have like 3 sizes of this. I have a giant one, but this will be fine just for checking out the dimensions here and getting a sense of what we're looking at. All right, so I want to know if half an inch is too much. So here's half an inch. Well, half an inch is like right here. So if this is the center line right there, then half an inch on each side is like here and here. Oops, here and there. And then a quarter of an inch is like, what are these units? These are eighths? Yeah, so this right here. So it's about double of that. So I don't know, maybe in the hole of the hole punch is like this size. Let's like clear that in. Yeah, it's kind of so if you're doing hole punching and you're going to end up with something like this, that's still pretty I don't know if you can see that, but the issue with the size of the hole relative to the amount of space, 0.5 is probably not even enough. This 0.75 is more like it. So I don't know about that. I don't know if we'll be able to get away with this. let's take a look. If you want to spread, if you're putting it into like a US Mini style notebook, I need to adjust for that. Everything's ever easy, so I think I need to actually push this out a little bit more even. You know. So this is at 5, let's make this 4.75 or 4.85, let's say. This is probably as, oof, that's terrible looking. And 6, we're going to add another 0.15 inches to that. Yeah, so look how much space we're losing on this already. This is the curse of the 8.5 by 11 size. It gets super narrow compared to a regular sheet. And when it's up like this, it's a good size. But then like you fold it in half and then it becomes skinny. You lose more space, which blows. I don't know if this is going to work. This space is already really cramped. So I might have to actually reduce some of these. I don't think, he might not be using the time tracking. Let's try removing the time tracking for the T3T. Although maybe he is. Does anyone really do 4 hours anymore? I think I will try this. I am going to reduce these. There's an old Illustrator trick. Using the direct select tool. Well, this is even the old style. To cut into this group. And then we're just going to bring this all in. And because I have this guide here, which I'm about to lock, I'll lock that guide so I can't select it by accident. I'm going to try sliding this thing in. Right to there, hope it snaps. Snap. And I grab this point right here. And snap it to this line. Although the snapping is always a little bit iffy. That looks about right though. Alright, so we've moved that in a little bit. And now we can move this one in. So if I select the right things, I can like resize things and not break the proportions. Oh, this proportion looks weird up here though. I'm not sure I like that. We'll fix that later. Now this whole thing looks wrong. That many ETP planar days, what happens? There's this. That looks cramped. Don't like it. And then we need to adjust this dot grid as well. And I don't remember if, okay, I did use this style dot grid. So let's put it right there. There is a feature now in Illustrator that didn't exist at the time, which is this option here, which allows you to actually like choose. Well, you can see the difference. If I choose, let's see. So this was the original one. So it just is automatically spacing at every 10.5 points. If I do this, it actually will like distribute them. And the question now is like, are these still square? So I'll check that. It's square almost. So I think the thing I want to do would be to do that again. These definitely were square. And I think maybe we'll just bring them out a little bit. Just so we get the full square. So that's within the, no, that looks wrong. It's never easy. I don't want to bring this in anymore because of the size of the hole. I mean, you won't be able to punch it comfortably. So maybe we have to compromise here. And do it this way after all. It's almost square. Almost bothers the heck out of me. But it lines up about right. And if you end up drawing a square there, it will end up being slightly flat, which the purist in me hates. But it's pretty close. It's off by a point. And most people except me would never notice that. So let's just go with that and see how it works. So then we need to duplicate this thing on the other side, starting here. And this is going to be an issue. Now when I spread this thing out, it's not going to match exactly. Then again, most people may not notice it. And we have to duplicate all of this as well. I think we, oops. So this one. Yep. And we'll delete the top bit. So that's our dot grid paper. Let's see if I screwed anything up. Now some things I want to fix are things like this. That looks terrible. And why is the metrics all screwy? Maybe that's even a little bit too big. 7 point. 6.7 point. And let's make that a little bit bolder. Let's make that semi. Oops, what is this? That's light. Let's make that regular. And let's also move it so this lines up. Oh, I guess it is lined up. On your day as it happens, I just want a little bit of relief there. And this, why does that look so weirdly placed? That's a little better. Now, how about the width of that? It looks a little bit awkward. So that's like how much space on a regular piece of paper? It's about this long. That's probably is. Is this semi-bold? That's just bold. What I don't like how this actually looks taller than that. Is it just an illusion? No, this is slightly taller, but this is Nova condensed. This is Nova 11 point, 10 point. I think the surround just makes it look smaller. Let's see if we can give it a little boost. And drop that down a little bit. Now it looks too much. It's funny how my spacing sensibilities change over the years. Let's see. Looks like it's too far to the left. This is rather condensed. It might look better if it was just like over here. So then these line up. I almost want them to be lowercase. There was a version I once made that let's move this in and see if that fixes it. Oops. Grab too much. Maybe optically it looks better if like this. Hard to say. Hide the... It's not hiding the edges. And there it goes. And that looks terrible. Let's optically move this so it feels about right. Maybe right around there. And then this still looks really off to me. In fact, the spacing of this, is this optical? It is optical. Trying to find something that looks good. I almost want to shrink that down to 9 points. It's alright. I can probably actually extend this a little bit farther too. I can put that in there. I had to move this in too. PCO ETP, that should still work. This is now the form ETP 3 dot. Is that what they called it? It's the 3T3. No, I called it ETP T3T dot. Oh wait, this is 3T3. What is this supposed to be? T3T or... I think I called this a 3T3. This is wrong. It's been 3T3 dot US Mini. Is this even the right font? And this is... let's update that. This is a sort of the Doug Anger edition. Patreon Doug Anger edition. I guess I should put I'll call this the Patron edition. How's that? Patron edition. Patreon.com. Dave say. Is that right? Is that actually in my Patreon logo address? I can't even type my own name correctly. That's crappy. Why are computers getting so slow? Yeah, this is it. Maybe I'll put a little dot in there. It doesn't take too long to do these. So let's see if this works for him. I'll post this online. He's fine sharing it. Although this is a form that I sell. But, you know, patrons who, this will be a patron-only download. They are supporting me, so I will give stuff to them in return. So let's see, how do I say export this as? I need to do save a copy. And I don't need all this other stuff. So all these other ones. Let's move that to trash. Go to trash. This one is a PDF. And it will be the smallest file size. And let's take a look and see if it looks okay. Now an interesting thing, because I am using the way I'm drawing these lines here, these don't work on if you're using a crappy PDF viewer. You need to use Adobe Acrobat. Otherwise the dots don't show up, because a lot of the rendering PDFs don't know how to draw this type of line correctly, including the Chrome built-in PDF viewer, unless they fixed it recently, which I would be surprised if they did. So anyway, we have this new one up. Oops. What is it? So we have this new PDF file, and it's labeled that. I should put the date on it too, just to make it obvious that cool things are happening with the Patreon. I'm trying to encourage do more Patreon related stuff, because it's a platform that I really like. Why does this font look so crappy? I guess it's all right. Let's see. I call it the February 2017 edition. Just squeaking in February. Actually, since this is a downloadable file, there's one thing I actually need to do. Save a copy, or save as. This has to be flattened first. Poster CC. And what I need to do for licensing, I need to actually convert all these things to outlines, because you're not allowed to use the embedded fonts when you're distributing. So now I can save this. So it'll be a larger file, but it's within my typography license. And so this is the smallest file size. Save as this. And you know, it renders a little bit weird now, but I can't zoom on that. No. So you can see it's rendering funny now, but it should print fine. Okay. So that's done. Oops. Yeah, I should do this more often. Patreon. Just renaming all these things. I'll make a source folder, source. And this will be, or export. Okay. So, alright, so now I just need to upload this to Patreon. I'll do that offline. So, at least one thing got done. If I post this before midnight, I will feel like I've met my obligation to do at least one thing a month on Patreon. So hopefully, and then tomorrow I'll get on to the next one, hopefully, which is for Doug, who wants a logo on one of his forums. He's at the $10 business patron. If they're using their forums in their business, then if you want a license, you can do the $10 level and like officially support and license, and I'll put your logo on the forum too, just so you can look extra cool. So that's that for now. That's the updates. Post this on my Patreon page soon. Thanks for watching, and hope you're having a good week so far. Wednesday is coming up. Bye.